What's up, nerds? Welcome back to another video, and I hope you're having a great day. This is episode 5 of the Space Program History series, and in this episode, we're going to be talking about the Gemini program and how they trained for the upcoming Apollo missions. And if you're not subscribed yet, please hit the subscribe button and smash the like button so you could help us hit our goal of 1K subscribers by the end of the year. So please consider subscribing. But before that, the intro. So now, we're getting really serious because now NASA is training the astronauts to go to the moon after JFK's famous statement.
The best of all mankind. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon. We choose to go to the moon in this decade and do the other things, not because they are easy, but because they are hard.
This was said back in September of 1962 during the Mercury program. NASA now made a new program called Project Gemini. This will prepare the astronauts for the upcoming Apollo missions. So pretty much, every astronaut that was in Project Gemini will also be in the Apollo missions. So now, to name a couple of things that the astronauts will have to prepare for in the Apollo missions are long-duration missions, docking with another spacecraft, and being with another astronaut on board. And for you all Soviet lovers, don't worry, I didn't forget about them. So, Sergei Korolev wanted to make the Vostok program longer, but because of the rise of the Apollo program, the Soviet Premier demanded that they shall make a new program, and due to this, the Vostok program was born. And later on, there will be a major milestone hit during the Vostok program. Now back to Gemini. Since there were a lot of missions, I'm only going to go over the most significant ones. So let's get right into it. So the first Gemini mission was carried out by Gus Grissom and John Young. It lasted 4 hours, 52 minutes, and 31 seconds. Since this was only the first mission, nothing really significant happened. This was just to test the Titan II rocket and the Gemini capsule. Fun fact about Gemini 1 was they actually snuck a bologna sandwich on board. And the reason I said snuck is because they didn't let real food on board because it made a lot of crumbs. So Mission Control wasn't too happy about that. A couple of more things I wanted to point out that is different about the Gemini program is that they didn't have a launch escape system. A launch escape system has motors on the top, and if the rocket would explode on the pad, the capsule will be launched right off the pad. So instead of a launch escape system, they had ejection seats. So before we get back into the Gemini missions, there was one milestone that the Soviets beat the US in, and that was the first human spacewalk. So on March 18th, 1965, Alexei Leonov became the first human to walk in space. Walk in space meaning leaving the spacecraft and just floating in space. But back to Alexei's spacewalk. It almost ended in tragedy because his spacesuit inflated so much he couldn't enter the spacecraft, so he had to open a valve to let air out of his suit, and he was just barely able to fit through. So now, back to Gemini. The second flight was piloted by James McDivitt and Ed White II. Their mission lasted 4 days, 1 hour, and 56 minutes, and 12 seconds, spanning from June 3rd to June 7th of 1965. Ed White being the first American to walk in space, his spacewalk lasted 22 minutes. Now we are skipping over to Gemini 4, where they had the longest space flight at the time with a flight time of 13 days, 18 hours, 3 minutes, and 1 second. Sorry, that's a tongue twister. That's almost 2 weeks in a confined spacecraft with another astronaut. Gemini 4 also had a companion mission, which was Gemini 5. Now for our last mission, Gemini 6 was piloted by Neil Armstrong and David Scott. Their mission objective was to dock with the external spacecraft that was launched around the same time as they did. They were the first mission to successfully dock, but they had a problem. They were spinning in space very fast, and they kept spinning and spinning, so Mission Control had to call an emergency landing. In the end, they came home safely. If you guys want me to make a separate video on this mission, let me know in the comments. That's it for the video. Hope you enjoyed. If you want to see more, check out my channel. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.